966.
For our special episode following the visit of President Biden to Saudi Arabia last month, I mentioned that in terms of "quote-unquote" deliverables, which is sort of the word of the time, no home runs were hit, to use baseball vernacular, but numerous singles were. And in our yellow segment for this episode, we'll touch on a couple of these "quote-unquote" singles. One of which is the new U.S.-Saudi visa guidelines, and the other is the okay for the sale of $3 billion worth of missile interceptors to Saudi Arabia. And actually, to be honest, that sale is probably more of a double than a single in terms of the relationship. But my one big thing this week focuses on another one of those quote-unquote singles announced after the U.S.-Saudi Arabia bilateral meetings in early July. And this is the 5-year Memorandum of Understanding, MOU, between the Saudi Ministry of Communications and Information and IBM, which will see IBM support a number of key initiatives. One of those initiatives, IBM will implement 8 innovative initiatives to bolster the kingdom's position in the areas of artificial intelligence and machine learning, cybersecurity and joint research, innovation accelerators, a policy laboratory, and IBM's cloud and open technology centers for software interoperability. 2, the two parties will conduct joint research on topics such as artificial intelligence and machine learning, cybersecurity, cloud, and digital innovation. 3, IBM will support multiple projects within the public sector, including consulting, execution support, and capability transfer. And on that last point, capability transfer, the memorandum aims within 5 years to hold 100 workshops with government agencies and train 600 public sector employees. 4, IBM will support the upskilling of 100,000 Saudis focused on, quote, critical areas where the use of technologies is fundamental, unquote. Mr. Fahad Alanazi, General Manager of IBM Saudi Arabia, noted that, quote, our collaboration with the Ministry of Communications and Information Technology will help identify, co-create, and co-develop innovative applications to provide the kingdom with access to advanced technology and aligned to its Saudi Vision 2030 objectives, unquote. And I want to note here, actually, that according to the World Economic Forum's latest global competitiveness report, Saudi Arabia is actually currently the world's 9th most advanced country for digital skills, and they actually rank ahead of the U.S., Germany, and Japan, and the U.K. Yet, as we know, in the current Saudi fashion, they hope this IBM MOU and other initiatives will help them leapfrog rivals such as Denmark, Israel, and Singapore, who are above them on that World Economic Forum listing for top 10 digital skills ranking. So, this MOU with IBM is the sort of thing we at the 966 like to see. It partners leading U.S. professional and technical capabilities with Saudi Arabia's Vision 2030 priorities. It is something we can do as well as or better than any other country in the world, and conveys U.S. interest in and support of the transition Saudi Arabia is attempting.
Yep, the 4th Industrial Revolution, big focus. I mean, you're right, Richard. That was actually exactly what I was going to say to follow up to your one big thing, is that this is exactly the type of thing that we do at the 966 that brings attention to, as you call it, a single and not a home run, but, a meaningful at-bat for the U.S.-Saudi relationship. This is not going to be the banner headline on the New York Times after the visit. It's the type of thing, though, that is enduring and is actually impactful. I mean, 100,000 Saudis being upskilled, 100 workshops, government agencies, on design thinking, public sector employee training. It's a big win for IBM too. I mean, this is a long-term sort of, you said the word deliverable, but this is a long-term win for IBM, and this is impactful. This is meaningful. This thing will endure for, a few years. And I mean, the result of this will be Saudis that are more technologically enabled and engaged and productive.
Agreed. I like to, we're all fans of U.S. corporates and want them involved and engaged as much as possible. So absolutely delighted for IBM. I mean, you're right. It is a big win for them. And, it's a bit of, it's sort of doing well by doing good. I mean, this is, they're being supportive of the Vision 2030 goals for the kingdom, but it's also good to be, working hand in hand with this ministry to do this. So it's a win-win, and you put it nicely. You know, it's another single, and you line up a bunch of singles, and you end up with some nice results.
One thing that was striking about this, Richard, too, that just made me think is that Saudi Arabia is going to do this stuff anyway. They're not just going to be like, well, if the U.S. doesn't come along or we don't get a U.S. corporate to come do this, maybe we just won't upskill our labor force. Maybe we won't proceed ahead with Vision 2030. They're saying, look, IBM is the gold standard, one of the best in the business. We hope it's you guys. We love the United States. We have a good relationship with you guys. But, hey, there are other partners out here that may be able to do this. It may be more difficult for us, but we just don't want to, this is an opportunity for U.S. corporates, not just in this space, but elsewhere, to say, okay, there's a little bit of a reset going on. I mean, you can use resets, a word that some would use, others would say, rejuvenation, but there's a change in the U.S.-Saudi relationship. Now is the time to re-engage with your Saudi counterparts and get in on these opportunities. And it looks like IBM did.